So once
I
you have
can.
logged in, please make sure your this team viewers, you know, mic is in mute. Otherwise, you know,
Mine,
my
mine keeps saying
my
your
my
password is
my
invalid.
password is invalid. Password is invalid. Um, Mohammed, are you able to see this?
Yeah, I'm able to see, but there's a lot of echo that I
Yeah, I
got.
think it is from Trupti. Can you just try once again, Trupti?
Yeah, sure.
Or you want me to share? How can I share from here?
It's 788XKK, right?
Yep.
That's what I'm entering, and it's just saying.
Okay, it says no.
Okay, I think it's logging in now.
Yeah, fine. Sure. Now it seems your team viewer, once you log in, it's giving an echo from
Yeah.
you. Okay, fine, not a problem. So what you can do, you can just mute your mic, so that I'll just start this. Are you able to see the screen now?
No, I'm not able to log in yet. Something's wrong with my.
So can you just give the ID back again? It seems this is the ID, which is okay. Let me just password. Okay, so this is my ID and this is my password. Yeah. Can you just try now?
Can two people log in at the same time, or
I
one person?
have the same doubt actually, but we can have more than one, right? So now are you able to both? I hope you guys can see now, right? Mohammed, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. And Trupti? Trupti, hi, hello Trupti. Can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So it seems I have to generate a separate password for you. Okay, fine. So
Yeah.
you guys are able to see now, right? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So let us start. So basically, so this is a administration SharePoint administration screen, which will be loaded once you set up your let me start my recording. Okay, it isn't start anyways now. So Trupti, just for your basic introduction here, right? So once you install the SharePoint in your PC, right?
Okay.
So the whole SharePoint, I have already explained that the whole SharePoint is something which is a complete website, which you will be using to create websites. Fine.
Okay.
So that is a basic
It's
thing
like
in.
a tool, right?
Yeah, it's like a tool. It's like a tool using which you
Okay.
will be generating something called other websites, which I have told, like if there are so many different roles in a company, each and every one will have separate page like HR and different guys, right? So we'll be
Okay.
seeing how to develop them, right? Fine. So now here we have developed one basic site. Let me just take upon to that site, and we'll see in backup class. I'll show you how to do that. Fine.
Okay.
Now, so we have created something called Corp IT. So can you see this, Mohammed? Hello.
Yeah.
You able to see? Okay, fine. So now today we'll be see. So this is a basic site which we have created, which is Corp IT collection, right? Which is basically site being created. Under this we have something called HR site. We can create something called account. Go back. You can create something called accounts. Okay, and we can pass through these sites. Now, Mohammed, do you have any doubt in the previous class where we
No.
have created a simple site and how to navigate? Yes.
No. We can go ahead.
Okay, fine. I hope if you have got videos, if you have tried it out, then it will be and you would have felt it much easier, right?
That's right.
Okay, fine, sure. So now today we'll learn something new today, which is nothing but lists. So today we'll be looking at a topic called lists. So what is a list and how we can create a list in this our website. So basically this site. So to have a quick refresh on what actually site we are building. So actually you can just take up now, Trupti, right? So it was a
Yes.
basic site. The site name was Corp-IT, which is like site which we were building for some IT corporate, right? Where there are a few departments called accounts department and something called HR department, right? So for
Yeah.
for accounts departments, we have created a separate page called accounts. For HR departments, it is separate HR site. Fine. Now
Okay.
these things we have. So this whole ribbon is nothing but a menu bar of our site. Now here we have provided a navigation here, HR sites and accounts, and we also have a navigation here. Fine. As we have something called in Facebook, we have something called going to profile, going to videos. We have some navigation, right? So that is same thing in here, right? Now
Okay.
if you click on these both, it will go to the same site called HR site. Now so under HR site, we have built. So this is a complete a site again, in which we have built something called two pages. One is employees page and resumes page, right? And HR can take care of the employees and their resumes or the new resumes, right? Now this is the HR site, and we have built two pages where employees, we have just built a simple page where you can have something. We'll see what we can place it here. And we have something else called employees, where we'll be placing something called employee things here, right? Now so in order to go back, we can also use this navigate up, where you can see Corp-IT collection, HR site, home. Click on Corp-IT, or you can just go home here. And we have created something else called accounts. In accounts, if you go to accounts, you have something called an account section can maintain a budget of that year, right? Or a payroll of all the employees who are having that same company. So these are the two websites which we have created, HR site and accounts. And under HR we have two pages, which is employees and resumes, and under accounts we have budget and payroll pages, right? If you go to budgets, you can see there is nothing here. We have to create a page for budget, and in the same way we have to create a page again for payroll. We'll be seeing how to design a page. And so in this website, so this website will be used till our end class, and till end we'll be seeing different things that can be done that can be done in SharePoint. Fine. Now today let us take up something called HR site. We'll just go to HR site first, and under HR site we have, let us take upon some page called resumes, right? So this was a page, this is a page which is under HR site, and the name of the page is called as resumes. Now why do we use resumes page? We use resumes page, let us say, for having a repository of the existing employees resumes, or let us say if we are planning for new recruitment, we'll go for accepting the resumes, right? So here let us see how we can use something called let me open something called Notepad++. So now here we'll be seeing something, the new topic called lists, right? So we'll see what is a list and how we can create a list, and what are the different types of lists we have in SharePoint. Now so here let me design this page now. So how to design that page, which means this is an existing page, which is here. You can see this is a resumes page under HR website, right? So in order to edit this page, you have to go again to site actions, which is site actions, which you'll find in the left top corner of your administration page, and go to something called edit page. Fine. So when you go to edit page, the whole page will be, you can edit as such. You are doing something like typing in Word, right? So you can, it's so simple. Your SharePoint is so simple tool that you can create anything on fly directly. So as on your designing your page, your CSS or styling, your colors and all will be applied automatically. Fine. So till here actually we have seen. Now, so now let us design this page. Let me make it resumes, and let me make it a small heading here. Okay. Now what we'll do now, so this is the resumes page where we want to design this page in a way that it should accept resumes, which means a HR guy should be able to upload resume into SharePoint site. Am I right? So we have already seen that a team member can upload something called requirement document into SharePoint, right? And we have also seen that a manager can upload a PPT into SharePoint. Now we in this class we'll see how to upload certain document and how to work with that. Fine. Now let's move on. So in this edit page we have something called format text. Whenever you go to edit mode of a page, so you will see something called insert. So in this insert we have something called new list. Fine. So this is a main guy which is very powerful in SharePoint, so which provides so many functionalities. So let us see what actually we have in the list. So when you click on list, it will give you the whole set of list which you have installed in your PC. Let us see what are there. See, so there are so many type of lists. It says they have something called libraries where I can hold documents from wiki pages, picture library. You have something called contacts, you have something called calendar. There are so many type of lists here. So again, what is a list is nothing but, see, the collection of resumes is nothing but a list. I can collect the whole data in one list. Am I right?
Yeah.
So in the same way, let us say I have an employee database. Let us say there are 100 employees in a company, right? So I have to store all the employee information like name, email ID at somewhere, right? So that somewhere in SharePoint is nothing but a list. Fine. So that is nothing but a list. So now here what we are doing is we are trying to accept a document, right? A resume is a type of a document, right? So for that, based on your requirement, you have to select your list. So here I'll be going to something called document library. Fine. Document library, and let me give the name of document library as resumes. Fine. When I select document library and go to resumes and click on OK, let us see what happens here. So I've selected and I've given you something called list here, and I'm clicking on OK now. Now it is loading up here and it is creating a list for you, and what it does is it will take this list and yep. Now can you see this? So this part of our story is nothing but a list. Fine. So here again you can arrange this. See, you can arrange this list again if you want to move it up, and you can arrange here. Now let us say this is a basic list I have, and let me just go back and save this page. Again, how to save this page? Go back to format text again. You have something called save and close. Now save and close. Now can you see it is saving your page? Now can you see this? I have a resumes page, and what I have done, I have created a list called resumes. Now let's go back to HR site. Okay, and it's a bit slow in my PC now. So this is a HR page where I have something called resumes, right? Now let's go to resumes page. Now can you see this? We have resumes, and so see here there is so much of gap, right? There is so much of gap in between your heading and this, right? So again let's go back and edit that. Now here every time you don't have to go to site actions and edit page. You have direct option here. So you can see here you have direct something called edit. Click on that and your page will go to edit mode, right? So now here, so just put on some delete, right? I just clicked on delete. So I'm arranging my the resumes header and the list. Now go on save and close. Can you see now? So it looks better now, right? So where I have something called resumes, and I have given HR guys a page, a simple page. How much time it took for me? It didn't even took more than 5 minutes, right? So I've created a page where you can upload a document. Now let us go back to HR site. In HR side we have something called employees and resumes. Go back to resumes, click on resumes, your page is ready. Fine. Now here, so you can see here you have something called add document, right? See how we can add a resume here. Just click on this add document, you have it ready with you. So it will ask you to upload your resume. See, it's all inbuilt in SharePoint, right? Just click on browse, right? Click on browse and let me just upload one document here. Let me take one document, SharePoint, codes, content, something. Let us consider it as a resume and click on OK. Can you
So it's
see?
just similar to Microsoft Word and all that.
Exactly, it is,
Yeah.
it is same as, we are just giving a document called Microsoft Word to here. Now can you see here, Mohammed and Trupti, can you see the document being pasted here? So
Right,
this is
yeah.
how we create a list. It's a basic list we have created, and the list type is nothing but a document. Why we have taken a document list? Because we have something called, we can upload all the documents in here, right? Any doubts still here?
No.
No.
Fine. So it's pretty easy to upload document. Now SharePoint, I've given direct access something here. If you can see here, there is a drop down box, right? If you click on this box, you can see something called some properties. We have something called view properties, edit properties. Can you see this powerful tool, edit in Microsoft? You can directly go edit in Microsoft and check in your thing, right? And also you have something called checkout. Checkout is something which, like, if you click on checkout, you will get a new latest version of SharePoint. Let me just go and edit it out. If you click on edit here, let us see what happens. What happens is, can you see something happening here? It'll ask you for user ID password anyways, right? Give your user ID password and click on OK, and let us see what happens here. Bear with me guys, my PC is a bit slow. I don't know what.
It's okay.
Okay. Fine. So what it does is, it will open a Word document for you in turn, right? Which is actually downloaded from SharePoint site. Fine. Okay, let it open anyways. It will take some time. Let us continue with that. Okay. Whenever it opens, we'll just go into that. Let us not waste time here, right? So that is how we can directly go here and click on something called Edit Microsoft Word. So again, you can either select here, or if you just go and click on here, again it will open a document for you. Fine. So this is how we actually upload or create a list. Fine. But here you can you see something? So you're not getting the columns as if you need, right? Let us say I want something like, I want a document and I want something called the name of the person whose document it is. Am I right? So that is
Yeah.
what the actual HR guy need, and he don't need like name, which is a document name, modified date and modified by. But again, in order to search this resume, whose resume is this, again it will take more time. Am I right? So here, let us see how to actually modify your columns and all. Modify your columns and add columns and all. So for this, we have some concept called libraries. So let us go back to site actions, edit page. Now here, when you go to edit page, my page will go to edit mode, right? So now let us select this list. So let us select this list. So when you select this list, can you see here, I have got some other edit options like library tools and web part tools, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, you will be learning each and every part of what is a library tool and web part tool. Now let us see what is a library tool here, because what our requirement is to add some columns and remove some columns. Am I right? Right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
I just want here, so to make the resume space so clear, I just want the name of the document and the name of the person or name of the candidate, right? So for that, you have to select this list and go to something called library tab. So in library tab, you have something called library settings. Click on library settings. So when you click on library settings, it will give you the all the properties of the list you have. See, you can get the all properties, like in list we had something called you can see these things, right? Title, created by, modified by, and all, right? So now in order to create a new column, you have in the same page you have something called create column. Fine, click on that. Now see here, so this is a way how we can actually create different columns for list, and that is using document library. Fine. So now let me take name as something called employee name here, and so let it be the one liner of text. We don't need multi lines of text. And let me take a description as employee name again. It's an employee name, and so among these choice we have selected something called single line because our name can be only one line name. That's fine. And let us take something called description here, and requires that this column contains information. Yes, so here this is one of the one more mandatory field here. We are making this employee name mandatory. Fine. So let me just click on yes, and enforce unique values. You don't need unique values. The name can be anything, right? And let us leave the number of characters and click on OK now. Now here you can see here employee name is being added, right? Employee name is being added. Now let us go back to resumes again. So can you see this employee name here? No, right? Because our page is so filled that I'm not able to see those things. Now let's do something. Let's delete this document and let's do something fresh. Let's delete this document. Fine. So even now I can see type, and there is something called name, modified and modified by, but I don't have something called employee name, right? So again for that just go to edit mode, right? Click on your list. So can you see this? When you don't click on your list, there is nothing being populated here, right? Because all those libraries and web parts will come for some parts of your page. Again, when you select some control, based on that your edit tool will come. Fine. So in this we'll go back to library, go back to library settings, click on OK, that yes, I want to save this before opening anything. Now here see I have so many columns. So now let us say I want to hide something and I want to show something. So for that you have to go to something called views. So that is nothing but a view. So in view, let us open something called all documents. When you open all documents, you can see each and every column, whatever maximum possible columns are there in list. See, can you see all the columns here? We had something called type, name, modified by, right? So now let us say I don't want anything else. I don't want modified by, modified or type. Let us keep a type. A type is something like it will give you the what is the type of document, whether it is a Word, PPT, Excel, Access or something, right? Now let us select only these three items and go down. Don't change anything else. Let it be and click on OK. Fine. Now can you see here now? So let's go back to resumes. Okay, my page name is here now. Is it clear now? Oops, what has happened? Let me go to edit. We didn't save it. It seems. Go back to our library. Go back to library again. Go to library settings. Click on OK here, and go back to something called all documents. And here let me just, yes, we have already saved it. It is name and employee name here. So I just want let me just click off that. I just want name and the employee name there, and let me just click on OK. Fine. So here I can see name and employee name. Fine. So now that is all documents. So let me go back to resumes. What is happening here? Edit page. Click on yes, go to library and go to library settings. Okay. Yes, I've selected all documents. So what is the problem here? Click on default view, mobile view. documents. Yes, I have everything in here, right? So what else is happening here? Okay. So here I can see that there is a name and this is under resumes and all. Okay, let us go back to resumes. Resumes. HR site and go back to resumes. Okay, I don't know why it is not showing here. There is some problem in here with this. Back to library and residence. Okay, let me just let me just order my column at least. Yeah, I have everything in place. Name and interest rate is 3 and my employee name is 2 and just click on OK. Okay, now what I'll have to do, that's it. Now I'll go back to home and go back to HR side and go back to resumes. Oh man, I don't know what is happening. Let me just add this up. I think okay, anyways, now you'll get it now. So we have done something called, so now can you see there is a difference here, right? Before, when we added a resume, it directly added the resume into my site, right? But now can you see here, it is asking for some employee name. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is happening here, we have made this employee name as mandatory. We have checked one thing called you need the data, right? So we have made it mandatory, so until you enter your name it won't move on. So that is what it is. So let us just check this out how it works. Okay, let me take some name as some John. Okay, and let me just click on save. Let us see what happens here. Okay, so I have uploaded this, but till I cannot see this. Okay,
Something.
let's go back to edit page, click on my this and go to library, or is it go to library settings, click on OK, and let me go to all documents. How is this happening? I have, can you see this? I have only two things checked, right? But anyways, it seems there is some problem with my page anyways. I have
Even if you back to other page and come back, maybe it will show.
I'm sorry. uh, I think you have to mute your other one, it seems, right? So here I just clicked on name and employee name, right? Nothing else is opening here, right? So I just checked something called, this is sorting anyway. Anyways, we don't need sorting. I'm not touching on filtering, I'm not touching on group by anything. I just did the small change, name and employee, and just clicked on OK. Here, can you see here, you can see a name and employee name, right? Can you see this one? I can see
Yeah.
a name here, which is name is nothing but SharePoint. Again, let me just change something else again. Go back to library settings, and here we have something called all documents. Let me check in something called name. What is type is again nothing but your type of icon. Let me take it as a serial number 1, and I just want it as a 1. Let me click on OK. Can you see here, I can see type, right? I can see name is the SharePoint, some the document name, and I can see employee name. Am I right?
Right.
So I can see everything being changed here, but it is not reflecting here anyways. I'll let me just work on it anyways, right? I'll see what exactly is been happening. Fine. So actually this is how we actually work with columns and all, right? Because in preview I am able to see. Let me click on this. I have no idea why this is happening. This is playing with my life anyways. So okay, not a problem. So in these resumes, okay, anyways, let me work on this again after this class. I don't want to waste your time with this, right? So let me work on this, and I'll get a clear idea, so why it is happening now. Fine.
Sure.
Now, so this is how we create resumes. Now can you see this? So it is my resumes being created, and this is how we create something called document. Now we were talking about something on SQL server, right? Mohammed, do you remember?
Yeah.
We said whatever we create here is being saved in SQL server, right? Now let me show you where exactly it is being created, right? So for that we have to go to something called SQL server management studio. So this one will be installed whenever you set up your SharePoint. I hope your management studio will also be no, should be installed in your SharePoint setup, right? Just try it on. I'll when I send this video, just try it on your PC and see whether you have this. If you don't have, let us set up that. Fine, because you need
Yeah.
this SQL server. If your SharePoint is working, which means your database instance is being created. Now let us see where it is being saved. Now let us go back to this site again. So here my site is something called Corp IT collections, right? Corp IT collection is my site name. Now for each and every site collection, if you go here, so this is my database, right? This is my database where I have something called databases. So I'll be having so many databases. There are so many, right? So here when you see here WSS underscore content is my default database. And I hope Mohammed, when if you remember something, during creation of site collections we have given something called random name of database. You remember? We
Right.
gave
Yeah.
some name. Now let us go and see what exactly the name we gave. Now for that, again go back to central administration. Trupti, I'll be teaching you how to create a collection site in one of our backup class, right? Don't worry about that.
Sure, no problem.
Fine. Now when we go to central administration, Mohammed, we have seen something called manage content databases, right? We have seen something called create site collections. We have seen something called manage web applications, right? So now here we have one more option called manage content databases. If you go to manage content databases, we'll see something called which web application you want. See, I have so many web applications. Let us say change web application. So my current web application is Corp IT, right? Am I right? So let us
Yeah.
select that Corp IT. Now can you see the database name? The database name is nothing but WSS underscore content underscore something called C1F389 something, right? So let us go back to our database, which is, can you see this database? So
Yeah.
whatever we are doing is being stored here. Now let us expand this. So under this database there are something called tables, right? Whatever you do, so what I have done, I have created something called HR site, I have created something called resumes, right? Resumes is my page. So I'll show you this page. Under this resumes we have created something called list, right? So my list name is resumes. Is that correct? So
Yeah.
this was my list and my name was my name of this list was resumes. Now let us go and see where it has actually been saved. Now so this is my database, and this is my tables where I'll get all the possible tables where you can see all docs. So whatever document you save will be going to this, all links, all sites. So whatever site you create will be here. Now let us see whenever I created a link list, let us see where it is. You have something called all list, right? Let me just go and query it. So how to query this database is in this way. Either you create something called new query, click on this new query and do something called select star from something called DBO, sorry, all lists, right? Where I can say, let me just open this. Here in this you can see something called columns. I have all the columns, right? Let me take the title, which is something called TP underscore title. I'll say like something called resume. Let me just execute it. So can you see a record here? Can you see something called resumes here?
Yeah.
Right? So this is nothing but, anyways you don't have to, I'm just showing this because I just want you to know where all your lists are. Whenever you create anything, how it is created in database, right? So you can also see the date here. We have just created today. It's 01 here. It's time. It took my local time here, right? So it will give you everything here. if you are creating something called security, if you are creating something called what is a template, what is a css folder, what are the colors you have used, right? And what are the columns you have, everything will be saved in this row with the name called resumes. Fine. So this is how it is being saved. So this is your database. Once just try it out in our just try to create a list. And whenever we create something list or something else, like tomorrow if you create a web part, I'll show you where exactly your web parts are created, right? So whenever you create a site collection, one database will be created for you. Like if you create 10 site collections, 10 different database instances will be created. Now database is something where your data will be saved. So whatever you do in your page, in your site, either you upload something or create a list or give a header or do something, everything will be saved in your database, right? Because SharePoint is a tool, and whatever you do on tool must be saved somewhere, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So somewhere is nothing but your database. So that's why if you don't have Microsoft SQL server with you, and you will never be able to run your SharePoint. That's why if you are able to run your SharePoint, which means your database is installed successfully. Fine. And for your information, Trupti will be seeing how to set up a SharePoint. Fine.
Sure.
So that is how we create and we see all. So now in the same database we can see so many other tables. You'll see some all docs, right? Let me just open this up, or you can write and query in this way, or you can just say right click and select top 1000 rows. You can also say in this way, and what it will give, it will give all the things here. So it will give everything here. So let me just go and check something called, can you see here HR site? We have created HR site, right? We have created something called HR site. You remember, guys? So here
Right, yeah.
we have something called HR site. When you go to HR site, can you see here the name of HR site is nothing but HR site, site pages and home.asp. Am I right? So again this HR site is page is again saved here. Can you see HR site, right? And each and everything like default.aspx, everything will be shared here. And we have something created called accounts, right? We have something called HR sites, and again there will be some default thing given, again calendars and all. So each and everything will be saved in your documents. Fine. So this is how actually the database works. And as our class grows on, we'll be seeing what are the different things being saved in our database, right? But anyways, this is the actual job of a database maintenance guy in SharePoint. So in SharePoint, it's a separate role actually, who actually maintains your database. Fine. Because server maintenance is different from something called database maintenance. In some organizations, it's in not some, in most of the organizations, database maintenance guy will always be a DBA, right? Who knows much on the actual database stuff, right?
Right.
But SharePoint guy, who a SharePoint developer is the one who should know the complete SharePoint. That's it, and he don't have to know how to manage database. But only thing is there will be a separate. But it's better to know what is the database and where exactly it is being saved. Fine, so that you can
Right.
give whenever you get any problem in your site, you can directly go to your something called central administration. You can directly go to something called manage content databases, and at least you can give this database name to him. Fine. You
Yeah.
can give something database name, you can give where exactly you're getting the problem and all. Fine. So this is how we
Fine.
work with database, and in conjunction with your this now can you see this, previously we just opened some document, right? Can you see it here? My document got
Yeah.
opened directly, right? And whenever you change this and save it out, it will be saved in a SharePoint. And what you have to do is you have to just check in it. Fine. We will see how to check in a document. So this is how we create something called lists. So do you guys have any doubt in this?
No.
Fine. So
Nothing yet. No.
right, so that's how, and I'll get back to you on the columns, right? How, why it is not being changed here, but whenever you see the preview, it is actually being changed, right? So that is how we create a list. And again, let me just go back quickly, and let us create a same list for employees. Now resumes we have created, and in resumes it is something which should accept something called document. Am I right? Right.
Yeah.
And now whenever I go back to something called employees, it's a complete data, right? I don't need any sort of document here, am I right? I just need something called employee name, employee ID, employee email ID, and something called number and all, right? So now let us see how to add that in this page. Again, here we'll be using some other type of list. Again, in order to edit this page, again go to site actions, or you directly have some option called edit. You have something called notepad, a pen on it, right? Edit. Click on edit, and it will take your page to edit mode. Just delete these steps and click on this, so that you'll get some size. Let me see it as implies 18 size. And here now let us go back to again something called insert. Again, I want to insert a new list, where now I'll be selecting a list of type where I want only something called data. I don't want document type, am I right? Now click on new list. Now can you see, again there are so many things, right? Now here among them, I want a type of list where I can save some data which is direct, so which is something like, I can save all the details of employees. So let me take something called contacts. In contacts, let us see how this list is. Let me take it as a employees list. Can you see here now? When I took something called contacts, it gave me something called last name, first name, which company, business phone, home phone, and email address. So these are again maximum possible things which we need, right? And it gave directly. So just go back and just say save and close. Fine with it. So again we created something called list of type something called contacts, and in employees page we need something of type contact, so that's why we added it, right? So again, if you want to change any of the face in this, just go back again, edit, and in edit mode just click on your list, go back to something called, again see in the list you have something called list here. Okay, go back to list settings. Okay, and now here you can see all the columns being added, last name, first name, and all this. Now here let us say I want to, I don't know whether it will work or not, let me just go and see whether it works. Okay, in these let us say I want something called, I don't want home phone, let me save that. So can you see here my home phone is deleted, right? My home phone list is no more here. So but I doubt whether it will be there or not in that. Okay, let me just go to employees. There is a problem with my SharePoint. Anyways, I'll get back to you guys on this, right? So but the basic theme how you change the list columns is in the same way, right? Go back to the library, go and check whatever column you need, and just click on OK, which will save your columns, and will show here. Now here whenever I click on add item, so previously when we use something called document library, it the first thing it was recommend, it was it required was document, right? But here it's a contact type list, right? Where you have to give something called some data of employee or some other, right? Let me take it as a last name as some Henry and some John. Okay, and let me take as Henry dot John at gmail dot com and all. Again, just mention some phone number and all, right? And because see, whenever you see red mark, it is nothing but a mandate, right? Again here. And how to do this? Add lesson. You have to whenever you add something, you have to make it as lesson. I'll show you how to. Okay, is it fine now? Okay. Now is it fine? Okay, you guys do one thing. Can you just mute your mic?
Okay.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Can you just mute your mic so that it will be. Have you done that? So is it clear now? now what we have done, we just gave the details of contacts and all, and we'll just say save. Can you see here? So the it got saved here. So in HR guy you can use, now we have provided HR guy with two things, like one is resumes, where he can use this page to upload all the resumes and keep the repository of this, and we have seen something called employees, where he can keep all the repository of employees here, right? So we have used something called lists and how to change lists here, and how to change the columns. I'll get back to you on and why we are getting the preview of columns and why it is not being affected here. I'll get back to you. I'll check whether my just try the same thing in your PC, Muhammad, right?
Okay.
And I'll just let me know tomorrow whether you are getting the same problem. But anyways, let me just inquire again in my PC. I don't know what is happening, and I'll get back to you guys on this, right? So these
Sure.
are we work with lists, the basic list, and how to change the basic face of list, and how to work with different kind of list. We have just seen something called a document list, and we have seen something called contact list, and we'll touch upon some other list when we come to actual when we move on to something called wiki pages and blogs and all, right? So do you guys have any doubts in this lists today, or anything
No.
like document library? uh, fine then. So let's stop here, right? And you guys just share this video today. Let me just share this video directly, so that I don't want to waste your time converting this into something, right? And Truti, I'll just give you a link from where you can just download, or Mohammed, you can, if you have downloaded already, you can just share now itself the link from where you have downloaded your
Sure, I can do that.
so you can just ping in via in chat, okay? So that Trupti, take down that link and just download. I think Mohammed is able to run those videos, okay? Sure. Sure. Anyways, I'll help you with the I'll help you with the video, and Mohammed will give you the link from where he has downloaded the the player to run this. Fine, guys. Any other doubts here? I'll just share it into my Dropbox, and I'll share you that. Right?
All right. Sure.
Mohammed, do you have the previous two videos with you?
Yeah, I do have it.
Okay, fine, fine. No problem. I'll just share this video with. I'll just create a new folder in my Dropbox, so that I think there is some problem with previous folders in something. I'll create a new folder and share you. Tomorrow. I'll email you. I'll email you because tomorrow, I think again the class will be at same time, because I have to talk to the previous batch, right? So again I can talk to the previous batch again tomorrow, because already today the class is done, and it was till sometime like 8:30 to 8:45 9. So that's why tomorrow I'll do one thing. I'll have a discussion with the batch which I'm already going with other technology, okay? And tomorrow I'll give you the time, right? So because I can't contact each and every guy now, right? Because I know they'll be
Right.
fine. So tomorrow let's meet at the same time 9:30, and soon we'll discuss, and let me discuss, and change the time, right? As
Yeah, I
per
would prefer if we make it 9, maybe even 10 o'clock
okay,
Eastern Standard
let
Time,
me take
American
first,
time.
because in my previous batch there are around 7 students,
Okay.
and for them I'm teaching Java. So I just need to get, and each and every guy are some guys are from CST, some guys are from EST, I know, and some guys
Right.
are from PST. I know different
Okay.
regions. So I let me just take upon. I don't know whether every one of them will be okay with this or not. But let me just prepone that session, so that I can take for you. But I think Mohammed is okay with any time, because you know uh, he is open for learning. But anyways, let us discuss tomorrow. Fine. Let me have a chat
Oh,
with the previous team, and let us decide. Right?
okay. Sure, no problem.
Okay, fine then. Trupti and Mohammed, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Okay, and I'll get you with the new concepts tomorrow. Fine.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you.
Fine, Mohammed. Then see you. Bye, Trupti.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.